We are probably the largest independent podcast network that you've never heard of. We have a little bit of everything, and by that, what I mean to tell you is we have news, pop culture, special events, conspiratainment, true crime, mental health shows, drama productions, and pretty much everything in between. So if you're looking for a new podcast home to grab a little bit of everything that you love all in one place, come check us out. You can find us on X under @KLRN Radio. You can find us on our Rumble and our YouTube channels under the same names. You can also find us at klrnradio.com and pretty much every podcast catcher known to man. So again, feel free to come check us out anytime you like at KLRN Radio.
We've got answers. We've got time. We've got theories that sound just fine. We've read the room. We've skimmed the page. Been wrong before, but never afraid. We'll tell you why. We'll tell you when. We'll tell you how. Again and again, we've got the tone. We've got the flair. We didn't ask, but we're still there. Men explain. Poorly humor.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome one and all to Men Explained Poorly. I'm Mr. Vincent Charles, and I will be hosting at least until our main man, Rick Robinson, gets here, and I believe... No. Has he shown up? I'm sorry, I'm mouseless. No. Okay. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I had a odd little moment with the thing. It's apparently I'm in this room twice.
No, I just look like you right now. I'm impersonating you.
Oh. You bastard. Okay, so we have two Vincents, and so the show will be doubly inane. Yes. Excellent. Okay, let's just get right to it. The panel. Well, I'm Vincent Charles, and you are Vincent Charles. How you doing, Vincent?
Doing better than the actual Vincent, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. And yeah, we're having some weird tech issues here. But
Tech issues? Us? You don't say. No, that wouldn't be possible.
but fuck it, we're gonna power through. The guy who's supposed to be Vincent is, of course, Mr. Rick Robinson, the beating heart of KLRN Radio. Rick, how you doing?
It has been a day, my friend. It has been a day.
Oof.
I have been out running around like a crazy person since like noon, and I just got home. So.
Like a chicken with the head cut off.
And then what's even worse is I couldn't sleep last night, so I think I maybe got 90 minutes in, which is about 50% of what I normally get. So, and then I wound up running around like a crazy person all day, and that's when I realized I was still out. I'm like, holy shit! It's like 8:00. I guess I should let people know that I'm still out running because I won't be back in time to actually start the show on time if I don't. So
I don't worry about it. All right, I'm kind of semi-technically competent, so yeah, we started okay.
Yeah, I mean, you do your own show usually once a week, so I figured you could push a couple buttons and be okay with it. But you know, what do I know?
Yeah, but yours is a little more complex. You have songs and graphics and all that other stuff. Me, I just open my app and keep bumping my gums for an hour. That's pretty much it. But speaking of bumping my gums on Sundays, let me introduce our next panel member. You know him, you love him, Mr. Ordnance J. Packard. Ordy, how you doing?
Really know? Do we really love him?
I mean, I do. He's the sober yin to my raging yang. We share a brain, Ordy and I.
I reek of Ben Gay and bad life decisions.
You smell of ointment and pee.
I'm doing well. I'm doing fine. I'm just fucking living life, man. California dream and all that shit.
That's what you got to do.
On such a because it's April and kind of snowing but not, and kind of sunny but not, and just California psychosis.
That's
So you're saying California psychosis isn't just for politics anymore?
No. It's universal. Always has been.
Good to know. Good to know.
excellent.
They say the fucking smog is the reason we have such beautiful fucking sunsets.
It's true. You do. But you don't
There,
have
I'm not-
Key West sunsets. So
There, I'm not impersonating you anymore, Vincent, so you don't have to feel like
thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway.
And I think we just lost Delaney.
Did we lose him again?
Yeah.
He's already come back at least once since I've been in here.
Oh, there he is.
And I think he's back again now.
Hello, Delaney. Delaney, can you hear me?
Go towards the light, Carolyn.
Okay.
You just moved the headstones.
I saw him light up, so I know he was trying to say something, but we're still not hearing him, so I don't know.
The window licker.
Hey, somebody took
Mr.
my moniker. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Licker of Windows. How you doing, brother?
It's Window Liquor 420, thank you.
Well, of course it is, you stoner bastard.
Actually, I can hear the K in the actually when you say that. Oh, man.
Oh.
What a weekend, huh?
Why? What happened?
Boy,
No, yeah. This is just how my luck goes. Because Saturday was supposed to be my because I usually rotate now between nights off on Saturday and Sunday until I can figure out what's going on with Nimic. And Saturday night was supposed to be my night off, and then things got stupid. So no night off for me.
No, things just didn't get stupid. Things, forgive my language, things got profoundly retarded. Seriously. It was... I don't think so much the act, right? Because, it was a shock. Yeah, it was a surprise. But the reactions. I'm sitting here, I'm reading the tweets, I'm listening to the commentary. I'm just taken aback by all of it. And it can't be just me.
Oh no, it's not.
I mean, because I have, as Ordy will tell you, and I'm sure many of you know, I have such contempt for humanity. Humanity is not redeemable.
Humanity was a mistake.
Exactly. But even
In the
I have...
In the
I'm
words
sorry,
of
go
Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way, but with us, it found the wrong way.
Yes, exactly. And I, like I said, I have contempt for humanity, but I don't have this level of contempt. And it's... I don't have the words for it. I'm sorry. I wish I could articulate, but it hits you that hard. Perhaps some coffee will help. And of course, if anyone else cares to interject, then please do so.
oh, I love some coffee. Thanks.
Wait, there's coffee?
Well, there is here.
You didn't bring any for the rest of us, sir?
No, I was the guy who never brought any gum for the rest of the class either. So, yeah.
I like tea anyway.
Yes, I'm having tea and rum tonight. That's been my thing since Treasure Island.
I am enjoying a specialty tea out of Long Island.
The one with no actual tea in it. Yes.
Yes.
They brew a hell of a tea there.
Yes, they do.
The one with no actual tea in it, but if you drink enough of one, you're going to be spilling some tea.
and British.
Oh, fuck them.
So, yes,
Do we-
no, the unmitigated retardation of the weekend after Friday night. I just see. I do have a very high level of contempt for people because they really were a bad idea. Social media too, and combining the two, that's just firing up the retardatron to 11.
Yeah, that's like putting all the retards on the short bus and then just driving off the cliff, but then having like a magical air balloon that lifts them off and drops them off on an island for a 1v1 versus 100. Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking Fortnite. Sorry.
But apropos,
All right, so I think we have Delaney again. Let's see if we can hear
Maybe.
Delaney this time.
Maybe.
Yes.
yes,
We have a Delaney.
the ladies' dulcet tones.
Love,
Yeah, it's funny
love.
It's funny because
Hey,
I
Dick,
can
how you doing? Oh, wait a minute. Was it Dirk? I'm sorry.
Well,
It's
both.
Dirk Dick.
it was Dirky Dick.
I'm dual action.
Dicky
like
Dirk.
that.
But I'm
Yeah, Dirk Dick and Mary Seaman. God, I love old plays.
What's the point
Oh,
of being
boy.
a seaman if you can't be married?
There you go. Nailed it. Oh, jeez. So other than weekend retardation, what else is on the agenda?
Huh? I mean, for me, not much because, like I said, I've been running around like a crazy person all day. But yeah, I know I know that's not how you framed it in the title. But my question is, should we make Stupidity a full contact sport? Because I'm thinking yes.
Actually, I think I remember a comedian, I think it was George Carlin, during one of his stand-up routines proposed fencing off the entirety of like a square state like Nebraska or Oklahoma or Colorado or something and just putting every idiot in there and then just letting them like fight it out and we could all watch it on pay-per-view.
I'm down.
You know, speaking of Carlin, I was thinking about this actually today. And I'm thinking, you know, as all the stats go, I'm probably somewhere above average. And I'm a complete fucking moron. So I'm like, okay, by definition, then more than half the people are dumber than me. And that's terrifying because I'm pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah, that tends to be one of the thoughts that like keeps you awake at night.
I mean, honestly, I was like, this is bad. I mean, I've checked the box on so many stupids. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, maybe now I'm starting to get the handle on it as I'm pushing 60. Well, that doesn't really bode well for humanity, does it? Like, well, if we're not getting our actors together until this late in life, and I'm not even saying that I'm starting to. And that's what
Exactly. I don't know anything. I like to think I know a little bit about a few things, and you know I can keep the conversation good. If I'm like at a dinner party, I can start talking to people about anything. But do I actually know anything? Oh, good Lord, no. I'm an idiot.
I know nothing except the fact of my own ignorance.
Exactly.
So crazy. So crazy is a cool dude.
Well, it's funny.
Frode, watch Socrates.
Famous
funny you
famous
say
last
that.
words. I drank what?
Ralphie May has a great bit when he was alive about his retarded special needs friend, and I say this, and yes, I'm going to give myself a compliment. I consider myself a very high IQ individual, and I am often only happy when I purposely make myself retarded by alcohol or other means. Because once you get down to a certain level, you're able to enjoy life more. Oh, look, grilled cheese. Awesome. You don't worry about all the stupid shit that happens.
Ignorance is bliss.
There is a level of retardation that is bliss, that is heaven on earth, if you will.
That's usually when I just shut my brain off and begin shit posting.
Or Dune posting or Rangoon posting or
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
God, now I
you know-
want Rangoons. God damn you, sir.
You're welcome. So back to the whole thing from Saturday night just for a second, because one of the things that astounds me the most is finding out about this guy's pedigree and realizing that, you know, he was one of these people that was smart enough that he went to a pretty good school. He actually got an award for improving the ability for a wheelchair to stay in place while parked instead of just the usual wheel brakes. And then just completely, you know, at some point along the way, just goes nuts. And the thing that scares me about this guy is if you listen to the left, he's a perfect example of how and who they want everybody to be. Well educated, supposedly compassionate, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But you go too far with it, and next thing you know, he's bum rushing a checkpoint, hoping to take out a bunch of people that he doesn't agree with.
Well, and that just goes to how much you allow politics, federal national politics, to infect your brain. If you're more worried about who's president than who's dog catcher, you're doing it fucking wrong. And yeah, so I don't know, I can't bring myself to that level of getting mad about the uniparty and the fuckery therein. I'm not that beholden to a team, I guess.
You mean you didn't vote for vehicle shut-off switches?
Did any of us?
I
I just
really
started fear punching wildly.
I really feel like the odd
That's the
person
thing.
out
People-
here.
Why is that?
Because
Tell me. I'm
my
listening.
biggest
Okay,
takeaway
Frank.
from all of this, and I will be your Lilith to your Frasier. All I want in life, look, I have very few simple enjoyments in life. South Korean, Japanese campers, awesome. Fat electrician videos, awesome. But there's a third tier that I absolutely love, and that is watching stupid, charismatic people ride trains. If I do not see this motherfucker in one of these train videos in the next 4 weeks, I'm going to be pissed. Because there's like 8 people per train, and one of these damn YouTubers riding trains has to have caught this sucker on camera.
That's a very good probability. You know, because he was out in California, yes,
Yes.
and
He had to have taken the Zephyr or something. And God, I know way too much about this crap.
well, no, L.A. has light rail and a subway, don't they? So yeah, there's got to be
Yeah,
video.
they do. No, they've got the light rail, and then they've got the Amtraks and the
Well, it was Heavy Road
Yeah.
Amtrak, so it had to have been like the Zephyr.
no, he took the train across country.
Yeah. I swear to God, if I do not see like Trek Trendy in the next month, get a show, oh yeah, hey, while we were traveling west to east, look who we saw on board. I'm going to be pissed.
I have a question. How did he get the shotgun on the train?
Amtrak doesn't do
Yeah,
bag
they don't
checks.
do bag
Oh,
checks.
No, they don't.
oh, you know what? I just have a
That'll
new life
probably
goal.
change.
Right? Right?
Yeah, that'll probably change because Jeff knows the name of the Zephyr. I don't know any of the names of any of the trains except for the Southern Crescent because that goes from New York to Florida. And occasionally when I go down to Atlanta to visit my sister, I take the train down there. It's only like 12, 13 hours, no big thing. And I take it because one of the stops on the way to Atlanta is about 8.5, 9 miles away from my sister's house. So she just meets me at the station. And then, I get back. And yeah, Amtrak does not do bag checks.
No,
They don't do luggage checks
not
of
at
any
all.
kind. So yeah,
And
you can fit anything you want. And I say this from experience that, I've brought things with me on a train.
yeah.
So yeah.
And
Well,
Orty,
No,
I
Jeff,
mean,
you're totally right. He was on the he had to, because they did talk about him changing trains in Chicago, and the California Zephyr goes from San Francisco
Chicago
to Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he could have even taken the weapons on a plane. He would have just had to check them.
Yes.
I think they would have limited the number that he could have brought on. I think you can actually take up to 2. So that's probably
Two per
another
person,
reason
yeah.
why he ran the train. Yeah,
But-
I didn't even mean to say it that way, but there we go.
And,
So
look,
going back to my
Giggity.
original premise, to reference Jeff's favorite movie, now I've got to get a hold of some Libyans with some uranium.
I hate you. But okay, speaking of movies,
It's the Libyans. No, sorry.
speaking of movies, and I know Orty will really appreciate this, and I think the rest of you will too. There's 2 big pet peeves now that are on my list outside of
Get
that-
Lee.
well, no, outside the DeLorean pisses me off more than Geddy Lee. Like I will throw 3 hours on that fucking DeLorean lie.
He actually has.
Okay, first off, is First Contact. We have reusable rockets now. Let's rewrite this movie and make it appropriate tech. But the second thing now is thinking Mad Max would be about these stupid looking fucking vehicles instead of Orty riding on an Amtrak with more guns than God.
Dude, do not say Mad Max's Interceptor looks stupid, or I will reach through this headset and choke you out.
Compared
That is
to
one
what
of the
you could do with
greatest
the
movie
train,
cars.
what you imagine the Amish ingenuity on a train with guns.
Yeah.
That's called Snowpiercer.
But only good.
But good, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
I'm writing that script.
Or better yet, you'll get Chat GPT to write the script
And here's the crazy thing:
while you sleep.
the Amish
Yeah.
would be perfectly okay using the train, especially if it say, "Oh, I don't know, coal power train."
Yeah, because I mean, we'd use diesel electric because we're not actually connected to the grid, so that's fine.
Yes.
No,
There
see,
you go.
Amish don't use trains. They just run them when there's too much ankle.
Oh, so
And,
true.
Jeff, I had to drop that
Mary
on the-
Margaret gonna catch a blessing.
I love it.
I think the most important thing about these podcasts is that the people of this great nation finally know the utter contempt you have for Geddy Lee. And I think that's a thing worth spreading. So,
If
yeah.
I have no other purpose on this planet in my short visit, that is number one. Number 1A is the DeLorean could not properly do what it did in the movies, and I will stand on that ground.
They don't
Well,
have
I
a
mean,
lot of
to-
power.
To be fair, the train couldn't do what it did in 3 either. So.
Hey, while we're talking about prog rock, did you all see the tag under my
No, I can't.
Under
Because
your,
he's got this weird thing. He's got this weird layout. It's different to mine. I can't read your tag.
you can change it.
I don't know
Anyway.
how.
Yes,
And-
well,
And if I try to, I'm sure I'll mess something up because I always do. So just shut up and leave me alone.
why are you so cranky, sir? Who pissed in your first toasties tonight, sir?
He's- We didn't get our naps today, Rick.
Yeah.
Apparently, well,
Us
I
olds
didn't
need
either.
our
But damn.
naps.
Okay,
I think
now
the
you
only
should-
one who got a nap was Delaney because he was talking about it in the green room. So
I did. It was glorious. And you all can just
You took a nap
Naps.
today.
glorious.
You
I did.
bastard.
Hey, for you young kids, learn the power of the nap. The power nap is fantastic. Those accidental 3-hour naps, you'll end up pulling a muscle. Don't do those.
Exactly.
And not the good muscle.
No.
Oh, dude. Oh,
It reminds me of, God, what was that comedian's name? Rita something?
Rita Rudner.
Rita Rudner.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of her HBO stand-up, but I remember I pulled a groin muscle. It wasn't mine.
Al, thank you for that level of hell
It's getting
that
By
I
the
did
way,
not know existed.
Since Vincent can't
So
read
since-
it, it's Ordnance J. Packard, Esquire, veteran of 11 psychic wars.
Oh, nice. BOC's best album. I love that fucking album.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, I mean, that goes along with this weekend's retardation too, because World War 11.
Oh,
Dude, seriously. And then I couldn't figure out if the people that were defending that were trying to troll too, or if they were serious. I kind of gave up on it.
no,
But,
they
yeah.
were serious
You know-
because they lacked the self-awareness.
Well, and I wish you could have saw the DM rooms during the show prior to this one. I didn't feel comfortable enough to turning on the mic for this comment. But Ordy and I both said about the same time about a certain former blonde idiot who was in the government who's no longer there, and all of a sudden things are getting taken care of.
Oh, yes,
Funny
yes,
how
yes.
that's happening, right? All of a sudden
I
things are
did.
happening.
I did defend her in the private messages. I'm going to give her a little bit of a break. Trying to translate Leering Cinder Somalian English to actual American English, I don't think AI is that advanced yet.
No, it's going to take a few years.
But yeah, that's the level of retardation that we're at. And what I find fascinating is just bringing it back to men, what we're expected to do, what we're expected to know, and even hearing my son's friends, and like it just baffles me the level of retardation that is born into normalcy now.
Idiocracy was a documentary.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
I mean,
did I tell
so
you I
when we
finally
were-
watched that movie like about a year and a half ago?
No.
I had never seen it. I found it on Tubi like a year and a half ago. Then I sat down and watched it, and I was like, okay, this is really retarded, but I'm enjoying it. So anyway,
congratulations.
I think,
You're the target
I think
audience.
part of it is these kids are set up for failure because when we were young, we knew there was not the constant barrage of, I mean, you'd watch the news and it wasn't 24/7, it was just the news. And you didn't really talk much politics. You didn't touch, there wasn't a whole lot of, the current events was what was in the zeitgeist. So it's a much narrower range of things that you would wind up talking about. But these kids are inundated with shit. I mean, just terrible messaging, and the algorithm, of course, is going to gear it towards muddling their head. And it's I feel for them because they're getting so much without context and not understanding how framing works and not
Exactly.
it's by design.
They're inundated with it. We used to, because most of us are the same age. When we were younger, we focused on a narrower bandwidth
Exactly.
than these kids are forced to do today. These kids are being bombarded by everything from every direction, and you focus on one bit and then it goes away, and you focus on another bit and try and hang on to it and it goes away. And that's why their attention spans are so small. That's why they can't hang on to an interest. It's like, okay, this week I'm going to do this. Next week I'm doing this. What hobbies do you have? What friends do you hang out with? What do you actually enjoy doing? And they can't give you an answer because they don't know themselves.
Well, and to relay that, and I'm going to drop some knowledge here for you guys. So hope you're sitting down for this. We have shows on KLRN like Vincent Charles Project where we 3 out of 4 weeks are put in the fourth, fifth level of hell and have to watch the shittiest movies. But occasionally we get a reprieve
They're
to actually watch a good
fantastic.
one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. And then we have shows like what's coming on Thursday night, Culture Shift, talking about Hollywood and things of that. What strikes me is just we all bitch about AI, but there is something AI has showed us, the level of retardation in humanity as accepted now.
Well, yeah, because you and I, we were talking about this last night, that the overuse of AI has actually made it more retarded.
Well, and not just that, but think of this. What does there has been 4.5, almost 5 seasons of Daredevil.
Yeah.
What is Daredevil known for? What stands out among when you actually watch the series? It's that one episode, usually episode 3, that does that 2.5, 3-minute long shot, single shot.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Single shot fight sequence that goes on for 3 minutes, usually through up and down stairwells and through hallways and finally spilling out into the street. But yeah, it's a closed single camera, single shot fight sequence.
That stands out to everyone because the human race has become so retarded that we can go to Grok or whatever image generator, video generator, and accept 6 to 10-second cuts, because that's what all the movies are now, because our brains cannot process more than 10 seconds of an image or thought at a time now. So now we're told and chicken raised in little cages to think in 6 and 10-second thoughts anymore.
Well, it's like this conversation kind of it's weird. Rick's heard me talk about this on one of the shows that we've done over the years, probably Rick and Orty. But this conversation kind of reminds me back when I was a broadcasting major. I think I was a freshman or sophomore, and we had and this is going to tell you how old I am. We had a visiting guest who was an anchor on a local news station. It was an open Q&A. And I had asked, do you think that the advent of the 24-hour news channel, because CNN and Headline News had both just come online recently, that we're going to get to a point where not only is the news going to have to be manufactured to fill that time slot, but the narratives as well? And he just flat out said no. I wish I could remember his name so I could go back to him and say, hey, remember me like 35 years ago? Asked you this question. You were adamant that this couldn't happen. Hi.
Fuck you, because you were wrong.
You're wrong, bitches.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, and so social media and the internet has even made that more, tightened down, to Jeff's point about 6 to 10-second sound bites, but also not only that, you can not only get the news that you want, but with AI, you can get the facts that you want based on how you phrase the question.
So since we brought up AI, I didn't notice this until this morning. So late last night, I saw somebody put out an image of the shooter wrapped like leftovers, with the whole foil.
Yes.
So I told AI, because I thought of it afterwards, and I told ChatGPT, I'm like, hey, change this and disguise him as a bottle of wine instead, because that's what everybody was going nuts about, realizing that the press had like taken every bottle of wine out of there on the way out the door. And that's all I said. And then I paid closer attention to it this morning. And this just proves how much ChatGPT and I work together, I guess, now, because did you guys notice the name that it put on the bottle?
No, I missed it.
Because it's in the room. It's in the room. It says,
let me go check
and I quote, Chateau de la Douche.
And Al's heading out. Al, thanks for stopping by, brother. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Al. You were great.
And I'm like, I didn't give it the name. I didn't tell it to pick the name. And I'm like, okay, it's figured out how much of a smartass I am. And I
it's
don't know
French. It's douche.
Yeah,
whatever.
which means shower. But yeah,
I know,
Um,
but
it's getting on about AI and technology and everything. It still amazes me to this day. 40 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that the the phone I'm holding in my hand right now, I can access almost every piece of literature ever written. I can access every fact ever put to paper. If I wanted to, I could look up Hammurabi's code and read it line for line. I can I can visit archives and see photographs of things that are in museums without having to go to the museum. There is a compendium of knowledge in this little handheld thing that the ancients would have killed for if they knew it existed. Something that could tell you anything that you wanted to know whenever you wanted to know it, and it fits in the palm of your hand. And it amazes me that I see people sitting there looking at their phones. They're looking at TikTok videos. They're looking at a talking dog. Oh, they're looking at a woman doing makeup reviews. Oh, great. D- Time spent not enriching yourself or trying to learn something. It's it's alien to me. In some ways it almost offends me. Because why would you not make the attempt to better yourself? Or maybe that's just the way I was brought up. I don't know.
No, I mean that totally tracks. I mean, I rarely use my phone, for anything other than it's like, okay, catching up on the news, because in generally I'll have a podcast, some night of the week. So catching up on the news, doing work shit, and then yeah, I mean but still, it's always learning. It's never just, ooh, hey, look, funny dog video. I don't have X on my phone for that reason. So that way I don't get sucked into shit posting, because I'm the kind of asshole who will
Fred
pull
Ward.
over. Yeah. I'm the kind of asshole that will pull over and because somebody is wrong on the internet and stay there parked until they are thoroughly informed how wrong they are about
Oh.
everything, including all of their life decisions.
Including the day their mother farted them from her womb.
Every bad decision you have made in your life has led you to this point of me dragging my balls over your face.
Oh, that's glorious. I love it.
You do that a lot. It's always when I do log in, and I'll just marvel at the absolute stupidity that you. That and
They come to
I'm
me.
cons-
I
you are the whisperer. And you didn't get a meme coin, which that's your fault. Um,
Yeah.
but that and your depth of knowledge is always impressive. But gentlemen, I have a question. So VC, you were saying, brought up for learning. Um, I My parents stressed that I should read. Well, I mean, what else do you do back then? You read. Um, but at what point did you figure out that that it's almost a requirement for being a well-balanced human being, where you have to do more than just consume culture product.
I
And do
think
you think that's even, how many people do you think that are even in that boat where they feel the need to listen to something educational and not just consume pop culture product?
well, I'm sure there are plenty of them out there, but you have to remember that and I hate using this word because it sounds so negative, but the unwashed masses, they they've had it beaten into their head until the first day they could pick up an iPad, and all they do is they watch the dog videos, they watch Disney, they watch this, they watch that. And I remember, and we were talking about Treasure Island, the play that we did in the green room. I remember the absolute wonder and amazement that I felt when I was reading that, because I was creating all the images in my head from the words that were laid out on the page. And that's what we had to do when we were younger. You know, we never had we had imagination, but what was being put up on the screen could never match it until, like the late 70s and all of the breakthroughs they did with Star Wars and then all the films that came after that. They were close to our imaginations, but they didn't equal our imaginations. Because right now I can pick up a copy of Frank Herbert's Dune and I can read it, and everything that I read will look better in my imagination than anything Denis Villeneuve can put on film.
But not David Lynch.
Oh, don't even get me started. Nothing that David Lynch has ever done will ever be equaled, and I will go to the grave saying that. He was fucking amazing. But as far as the age I reached when I figured out that I didn't need to consume was, believe it or not, I think right after I stopped smoking weed. Because when I smoked weed when I was in high school, I didn't give a shit about anything, and my grades showed it. Because that was the end of me. Finding out what my dick was actually for and marijuana. Those two things killed me. Had I not encountered weed or anything at that specific time, my life could be completely different now. But I got married young. I went into the Army. I made my living as a professional soldier, but I didn't want to be a stupid professional soldier, so I read. I read everything I got my hands on in my downtime. Never went to college. Everything that I've learned was, through my own initiative.
And just think, if you hadn't put the pot away, you could have been in the Army now style Pauly Shore.
Well, yeah, back then it was a no-no, but these days, who the fuck knows? I've been out 20 years. A lot has changed. So,
I don't know, man. Every Marine I knew in Oceanside was just fucking gacked. I lived in these studio apartments out in Vista. I had Marines on both sides for me and across from me. And all we did all weekend was just so much meth and coke. Which would be funny because we'd crawl up on our roofs and watch the meth labs go up in East Vista, Escondido area. We just sit up there drinking beer. Boom! House goes up. Okay, that's the show for tonight, kids.
And if you got any artillery guys with you, he's like, how far away was that? Hang on. Oh, about 2.5 miles.
Yeah. Lemon lays for that.
Simo over here telling you it's 1,134 meters.
Right. No, but to your point, Dwayne, and what Vincent was saying too. Peter Jackson still has not made a cool enough Hobbit for what I had in my head.
I hate
Yeah,
Peter
Lord of the
Jackson.
Rings.
Actually, the Hobbit,
The Hobbit,
in the one Hobbit movie that I actually acknowledge, the Rankin Bass version, that is the closest approximation to a Hobbit for me.
Right. And that's kind of what was in my head from 80, 84 on, I think. Because I saw it once on TV, but I was in a small town and we didn't actually have a video store until the mid 80s. So,
all right, here's a wild caveat. When you had Legos when you were a kid, did you do for me, and my daughter loves Legos, which I love, and she'll put together these very intricate, like she'll get a set and she'll put the thing together, and she loves puzzles, and that was never my thing. I wanted, and I still have some, and these Legos were purchased circa 1960 or earlier. And I would just dump them out, and what was in my imagination came out, and I didn't want them. Like the first time I got one that was when they started coming out where they were in sets, I stopped using them because it was like, well, I don't want to be told what this is supposed to look like. I want to figure out.
Exactly.
I don't know. I just find
I would build the set once, and then all of those pieces became in the mix.
I look back to with my son He's now a fucking adult. God, I hate that. The first time,
Wait until you're a grandparent.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The first time I played Matchbox with him when he was 9, and I started to explain how I played Matchbox, and we were finding shoe boxes, cutting out, garages and windows, pulling out Legos, and building homes for the appropriate size Matchbox, and making sure
Toilet paper
we
rolls for the.
yeah, make sure, we had all 12 emergency service vehicles that I had when I was a kid out, along with all the new ones that I got for him. And he would just look at me, and I remember going, Dad, we're just playing. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're using our imagination. We're creating. And it's funny because I have a name, and it's in our D&D campaign called Shandstone. That town is 43, 44 years old because it is a combination of my childhood friend and my last name without the last letter. And
Wait, did you seriously drop your drink?
yes,
Blasphemy.
I was running back to be back on the show. I tripped on the carpet, little loop that is now I have to cut off. Got my toe, caused me to trip and drop my Long Island. I'm pretty pissed about it.
That's
But
Pour one out for the Long Island.
yes, but it's that kind of imagination where you had to do you had to put the time in to make the little city of Shandstone with Matchbox and Legos and shoe boxes and cardboard boxes. Jesus Christ, how easy it would have been to build towns now with all the Amazon deliveries we get.
No shit. I'm building Fort
do.
Kickass.
I do love how, I mean, my daughter can look at a set and assemble it, which I don't know how that's done. I cannot imagine, like, she'll look at it and assemble it, and I don't get it. My brain doesn't work that way, and I don't even understand. I can't remotely understand um, the thought processes that go into assembling without. I just don't get it. My part of it is because I'm super ADD, um, and she's and very creative musically, but it's it's different different avenues, I guess. And my brain just does not. I look at them. I look at these kids sometimes. I'm like, how do you do these? How do you do these things? I don't. I'm but a simple man from a. I was an unfrozen cave. What was unfrozen caveman lawyer? I feel like that sometimes. I'm like these my children and their things. They frighten me. I just don't get it.
Well, I mean, that's just like with Gracie. My she's not my youngest granddaughter anymore, but she was for a time. It's almost like they come out now knowing how smartphones work. It's kind of scary because she was figuring that stuff out at like 2 years old. By then, she'd already figured out that it took my face to open my phone, and I had my phone sitting on my chair, and she's pointing at the phone, and I said no. And I went to go, I was looking at something else. I was reading something, and before I knew what she had done, she had picked it up, pointed my phone at my face, and then started trying to figure out how to load YouTube at 2 years old.
Well, that's
terrible.
because 5G permeates the womb.
But that's terrifying when you think about it, though.
Okay,
I mean,
Does amniotic fluid like enhance the?
yeah,
the
I mean,
flavor?
EEP was playing Halo 3 at age 4 and defeated in 1. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting here going, what the hell?
See, the Spice Navigators are going to be made by 5G now.
Exactly.
Damn it! Now I want to play Halo. Bastards.
I was there with you.
I want to be in an open, like in an empty warehouse. Just start building out just to get the echo.
Oh. Yeah, it
Too many head injuries. I apologize, gentlemen.
Never
No
apologize.
such thing.
Especially for guys, there's really no such thing as too many head injuries. We usually do a lot of
No.
stupid.
I would love.
CTE has entered the chat.
I need to disagree. There is nothing like banging a couple ladies from Thailand and then coming back with a disease and having to get ointment for it. Those head traumas hurt.
That's a different kind of head trauma, sir.
Yeah.
That's the more important one.
I mean, for you, but you should just be happy that you didn't wind up playing. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you find one when you're banging chicks in Thailand.
Well, see, I probe them first, so I know. Aliens are smart.
Nice.
I get
All
my
right,
kicks above the waistline, sunshine.
Sunshine.
Very
Okay,
nice.
Giles' brother.
Who wants to feel old right now, or older?
I reek of biofreeze. How much older could I feel?
Yeah, Rick, you're the youngest one here.
Will Wheaton is now officially older than Patrick Stewart when he started The Next Generation. That should
I
make
hate you.
all of us feel
I
old.
hate you. I hate
Oh,
you.
fuck
I
Will
hate you
Wheaton.
so many.
I'm not offended
But
by
Will
that.
Will Wheaton doesn't count because he's just Will Wheaton. So
Yeah, he's
because
a
of his
permanent state of
irrelevance.
retardation.
God, he's insufferable.
Oh, by the way, if you ever want to give a woman severe trauma, just point out to them that the ages of the characters in Golden Girls are the same ages as the characters in Sex and the City.
Which is
Yeah,
terrifying when you think about it.
Fu really has a problem with that, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, but I like to drop that little nugget around, the workspace every now and then too, and I just get stares of hate.
It's glorious.
It is.
Which I don't really get, because it just kind of proves that life was obviously a lot harder than it is now. Because you look at people that were in their 40s, like Wilford Brimley when he's doing Cocoon, dude look 70. I mean, Patrick Stewart was what, 45, 46 when he started Next Generation. I for sure thought he was way the fuck older than that.
Yeah.
God, that means he was like mid-30s when he did Excalibur. I fucking
And still
never had
he
He
hair.
was jacked.
Yeah, he was. I mean,
Jacked for Excalibur.
he went bald in like his early 20s, and he just looked for 60 years he looked the same. And then it's only recently, like in like the last 5 years, he started looking old as fuck.
Yeah,
I want him to do a DNA test because he has to be at least 15% Japanese.
I think somebody found the painting he had hiding in his attic and burnt it.
I was gonna say that tasteful stucco townhome in Tempe, Arizona, caught fire that had the portrait of him in the attic.
But the scary thing is, you look at William Shatner's Captain Kirk versus Picard's versus Stewart's Captain Picard, and Kirk was the swashbuckler ladies' man, and looked, kind of jacked for the time. But then you see Picard back in his TNG days. First couple times that dude took his shirt off, and they're like, dude comes across as a nerd, but I wouldn't want him to punch me in the face. Because, just saying. But, I mean, I don't know. It's just something about that always seemed weird to me. I was like, because dude seriously just seems like a bookworm, but he's kind of jacked. And it's just...
I remember just seeing Excalibur going, damn, homie's got some
right?
guns.
Right?
No, they did.
Yeah, dude, you remember?
My wife was back in the day. My wife was a huge Sex and the City fan, and I remember reading an article, and I showed it to her. One of the chief writers said, "Yeah, I had it wrong. I'm alone, no kids, and this whole fantasy that I made up in my head was just wrong." And it's sad because how many people bought into that? Like, oh, don't.
Oh, it's awesome.
Don't need no man. Don't need kids. Don't need, just let me party and
Well, if they were stupid enough to buy into it, then they deserve everything they get. That's the way I look at it.
Well, shit,
But-
look at the birth rates. Where the birth rates are they're abysmal.
Okay.
We're not-
I get what you're saying. Fine.
But
Someone give me Taylor Lorenzo's phone number and I'll help her out.
But getting back to Excalibur, the part where he's trying to pull the sword from the stone, and then Arthur pulls the sword, and Patrick Stewart's character Leon deGrance says, if a boy's been chosen, a boy will be king. The guy standing next to him, the guy wearing the headband, you know who that is? That's Julius Caesar from Rome.
Oh shit.
That's Kieran Hines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He
But
does
damn,
not.
They
Yeah.
dug him up they dug up Julius for the.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
these last 5 minutes have been brought to you by our own retardation traits.
Hey,
By
I
the way,
resemble
listen
that.
to the Vincent Charles Project on Sundays.
I am fluent and have multiple degrees and a steady diet of lead paint chips when I was a child is a wonder that's
Dude, lead paint chips, hose water,
it's delicious.
and swimming in Long Island Sound in the
Or tea.
70s. Yeah.
Or tea.
And Tang.
God, I love me some Tang. The drink was good too.
Wait, was Liam Neeson in that? Yes, he was in that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch it. I haven't watched that in like 10 years.
And don't forget who he dated for 3 years.
Who, Liam?
Mm-hmm.
Helen Mirren?
Yeah.
God, she was hot in that.
Yeah, because him and Karen Hines, they came to the set early and saw her in the Morgana outfit, and they both went, "Holy fuck!"
I'm on that. Okay, while we're talking about that movie, do you think that Mordred was the most miscast character in that whole thing?
No. Do
I don't know.
not.
He annoys
Do
me.
not speak ill of the sheriff of Nottingham's main soldier. Do not speak ill of him. If
I'm
you do
going
not
to.
know what I'm speaking of, I'm talking
Yeah.
Robin of Sherwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
He was perfect for that. Almost as much as Sean Connery's son was as the second Robin Hood.
So Getty Lee
Almost
goes
as
to
much
appropriate
as
the
Sean
appropriate
Connery
costume
as
for the show.
Macbeth. And yeah, Sean Connery played Macbeth, and I know this because I'm holding the DVD in my hand. So yeah.
We do have to use Excalibur as a palate cleanser 1 week, 1 month.
Absolutely. I'm gonna
All right.
before we do that, I'm gonna link up with you at least sometime this week, and you and I are gonna sit down and we're gonna hash out a list of all the stuff we're gonna do within like the next 2-3 months.
So I have a not all heroes wear capes moment as we start rounding things out. This is from WFLA Channel 7 News. Florida man caught smuggling 52 Taco Bell burritos through TSA in a specially modified carry-on suit.
He did nothing wrong.
Just saying.
Nothing wrong.
So it was
Not
a
all
special cargo
Not
pants.
all heroes wear capes.
I thought, yeah. There's the joy of cargo pants right there. And God damn it, I thought this was America.
Wait a minute. This is a D&D rare item called the Cargo Shorts of Holding.
How many tacos can it hold? All of them.
One of my coworkers comes up to me today. He's all, cargo pants with pockets in the front. I said, I'm so tactical, you don't even know.
Pants.
It's like, dude,
Yeah,
I
pants.
I could kill you with what's on my shin pocket right now. Oh, jeez. And well, you wanna take us out, Rick, or should I?
I guess I can. So
Please.
it looks
please.
like I got no notification about BZ, so I guess this is it for us for the night. But I guess we'll start with the guy who actually started things off so we can start on time. Where can folks find you, VC?
You can find me here every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me Friday evenings on the Curse of Stephanos with Jeff, Morty, Delaney, Janie Mack, and I keep forgetting your son's initials. God damn me.
E.P.
Okay, yes. Jeff's son also plays with us. And you can find me Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Vincent Charles Project. Again, along with Jeff and with Orty. And other than that, my week is entirely
Waz?
free. Yeah, Janelle Waz as well. I'm sorry. Dude, that it's one of the reasons it's like after 11 o'clock here, and I'm an old man. I was supposed to be in bed an hour ago. But,
Oh, whatever.
dude, the sacrifices I make for this show should be noted.
I bleed for this show.
And you can find me on Twitter, yes, at VCharles. So,
And Jeff, before we find out where we can find you, I'm going to say this probably for what'll probably be the last time. EP is 11. Just saying. Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at the local bowling alley every other Saturday now, and a Cosmic Bard over on Twitter /X/whatever. Let me think. Sunday night, Lost Wanderer is back, and other than that, everything that's already been mentioned. And I just want to drop one more note before I head out. Kristen Ritter. I'm gonna steal Orty's line. I would love to have my tongue in your ass. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes. No.
I mean, I could, yeah. Yeah. Mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
I can see that. And Delaney, where can folks find you?
Well, I've already been added on the things that I'm at, and other than that, I'm just not that interesting enough to find anywhere else. So
Nice. Yeah,
I'm stealthy like that.
well, it's how you roll. It's how you roll.
My
And
days of
Amish,
engagement are done.
where can folks find you, sir?
You can surprisingly still find me as Ordnance Packard on Twitter. I should probably call it X since that's my deal with Elon. Let's see. Tomorrow night you can find me on Rick and Orty. Thursday night you can find me on the Culture Shift with Brad Slager. Friday night you can find me on the Curse of Stephaneros cast, has already been mentioned. Saturday night you can find me on Juxtaposition with Rick as our bi-weekly venture into the strange and unusual. Sunday
Have
you
a
can find me
topic
on the
yet?
Vincent Charles Project. What's that?
Have a topic yet?
Yeah, we do. I'll get that to you. Let's see. Sunday you can find me on the Vincent Charles Project, and then back around here next week on Tuesday night with these fellow retards.
Do you
How about
sell
you, Rick? Where can
spaghetti?
people find you?
Do you sell spaghetti? I like spaghetti. Yay!
Yay.
Don't look for me. It's a trap. You can find me
I
on
want
X.
grilled cheese, damn it.
Doesn't everybody? You can find me on X at RowdyRick73. You can follow along with everything we do here on the station at KLRN Radio in most places except for Rumble because it was weird. So that's America's Podcast Network because they didn't like the call letters for some reason. Tomorrow I'll be working most of the day. So Rick Robinson show at noon and then coming back 7 p.m. Eastern, starting with Inquiry, and then the rest of the lineup is available on our website, and including Rick and Orty, which was already mentioned. And you can hopefully Jen and Rick will be back Thursday night as well. And then Friday, I do the Rick Robinson show at noon, the Weekend News Roundup at 3. He said, she said at 8:30. Saturday night, back around with you doing Juxtaposition. Sunday night, Kingdom and Country. Monday night, America Off the Rails. Tuesday night, back around here with you. And you guys all right here. And when I'm not doing all that, you can find me as a contributor on twitchy.com, misfitspolitics.com, and theloftusparty.com. And I also produce the Loftus Party podcast, which drops on Tuesdays. So if you haven't listened to it yet, it just dropped earlier today. So you're welcome to go find it. And I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Any other final thoughts on the way out the door?
I'm tired.
I'm a special boy.
Yeah, I was waiting for Amish to do
your
that.
pool.
I'm tired, boss.
Yay.
I'm tired. But he didn't do it.
I'm tired, boss.
All right, we're going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, haven't heard from BZ and Heater to show on Sunday, so I think he may actually be taking the night off anyway. Why is that not playing? I don't know why that's not playing.
We've got
There we go.
answers.
Bye, everybody.
No,
We've got time.
No hailing of the hype. We have had this discussion.
We've got theory
Fuck, I fumbled in life.
that sound just fine.